Chamoli, associate professor, as said by Santi, in hospitality and tourism. And I think this is the reason why, initially we were supposed to meet in New Delhi, then we were supposed to meet in Australia, and finally we are meeting virtually. So being a person from the tourism industry, you are just, taking me around the globe and finally landing at my home and making sure that I'm going to meet you all virtually from here. But the best thing is that we are meeting, and I must compliment the efforts of the team behind organizing this conference, that despite the pandemic, despite all the obstacles, we are still able to engage ourselves in the activities, in the research activities, and in the area where we can contribute towards the betterment of ourselves. So very well said by Madam Santi regarding the ecosystem for research, because that is the need of the hour. We need to keep ourselves up to date, otherwise we'll be outdated. So we have only two options: either remain update or be outdated. So it's always better to keep ourselves update. And water, when it keeps flowing, it remains fresh, it remains clean. Only the stagnant water becomes dirty. So we must not remain stagnant to our place. Even in India also, where I'm sitting in the northern part of India, there is a complete lockdown. The online classes are happening where I'm teaching at the moment. There are certain restrictions on travel because of this, the pandemic. But despite of that, the focus towards research is what we are engaging ourselves into. And that is what is helping us to grow with the time and helping us to actually learn new things about the, the world around us. Okay, so coming back to the topic, sustainable economic development, I'm grateful that the organizing team has given me an opportunity to interact with all of you. I've just heard that people from many countries are participating in today's conference, which is actually making it, a kind of a global platform today, where we are going to interact with the nationalities of various nations. So again, coming back to the topic, sustainable economic development, a very, very significant, a very, very relevant topic in today's time. Now, before I start, I would like to share a story with you. I always believe that I'm sure there are a lot of people who are attending today's conference are from the academics. They are the teachers, faculty members of various institutions. So I would like to share a story with you. And as I always believe, to become a good teacher, you need to be a very good storyteller. You have to charm your audience, then only you'll be able to deliver what you actually want to deliver to them. So to start this lecture of mine, I would like to share a small story with you. In Africa, around Tanzania or Kenya, in that proximity, there are two very well-known wildlife sanctuaries, Masai Mara and Serengeti, full of wild animals. It's a very popular destination as far as, if you want to go for adventure tourism, it's a wonderful destination. When a mother giraffe gives birth to a baby giraffe, the baby giraffe falls from a great height because of the height of the mother. The baby falls from a good height. And the moment he touches the ground, the moment he hit the ground, he just feels like, oh, where am I in? He gets a shock. The second moment, mother giraffe gave a very tight kick to her baby. And the baby opens his eyes. He said, oh, what is going on? In few seconds, mother giraffe again gave further, stronger hit to her baby. And then the baby realizes, then there is something wrong. Where am I in? Where am I supposed to come and where have I landed actually? And before the mother gave the third kick, he gets up and he starts going away from the mother, little away from the mother, so that the mother should not hit her is again. Now, you think that mother is very cruel. No, she's not. Because in the surrounding, there are a lot of carnivorous animal, tiger and lion and cheetah, and the smell of the tender flesh of the baby attract them. She need to move from that area away from them to a safer destination. And for that, she need her baby to stand up and walk along with her. She ensured this thing by giving few tight kicks so that the baby get up on his feet, gain strength, and walk along with her and quickly move away from that particular place where the birth has been given. Now, why I'm sharing this story with you is Mother Nature is giving us a lot of hint. Mother Nature is giving us a lot of kicks to open our eyes, to realize where we are, to realize that we need to get up, we need to buckle up, we need to stand and move towards a safe destination, because we are not safe right now where we are. Every now and then, you must have heard about, fire in Australia, in the jungles, in the forest of Australia. Then there is deforestation that is happening in Amazon forest in South America. Pandemics, diseases. What are these? These are basically the sign Mother Nature is giving to us that, we need to, there's something missing. We are lacking somewhere. People say that, why humans survived for so long, not because they were the strongest species, but they were the smartest species. Dinosaurs were the strongest, but they couldn't survive. We are here, dinosaurs are not here. And we are actually managing the world. So yes, we were the smartest, we are the smartest, but because of our smartness, I think we have, to a great extent, harm the planet where we are in. And that is why today we are in the need of discussing a topic like sustainable development, sustainable economic development. We all need development. We all need economic development. We all need to grow. We need our economies to grow, the country's economy, our own economy. We need more money. We need development. We need better houses. We need modern cars. But at the same time, at what cost? We should not compromise with the basic structure of the nature, because if that is going to happen, we will not be able to compensate that with anything. So a very, very significant, a very contemporary topic that has been selected by the Research Synergy team for the conference title, that is the Sustainable Economy and Sustainable Economic Development. Madam Dia, if you can move to the next slide, please. Yes, to start my presentation, the first slide to share with you is of Paulo Coelho, a very famous writer from the Southern America. Now he says, save the planet is just an expression of arrogance. The planet was here before we arrive and will kick us out if we don't respect it. Very true. We all keep saying, save Mother Nature, save Mother Earth, and Mother Earth is laughing on us. She's saying, what the hell you're talking about? I won't go anywhere. Don't take care of me. Save yourself. Because I'll be here. When you were not there, I was there. When you'll not be there, I will still be there. So I won't go anywhere. I want you to take care of yourself, because that is what is in danger. Those are the people, those are the humans who are in danger. And don't talk about saving me. You are harming yourself. If you're taking anything, if you're harming anywhere to the nature, the basic structure of the planet, it's not the earth you are actually destroying. It is actually you're destroying your future. Next, please. Okay, to begin with, what is economic sustainability? how will you define it? As many scholars have defined it in different ways, that economic sustainability refers to practices that support long-term economic growth without negatively impacting social, environmental, and cultural aspects of the community. So when we talk about economic growth, world is moving. You'll find that the countries which are moving at the fastest rate are also contributing negatively to the sustainable aspect of the world in the same manner, in the same proportion. So it's not just the nature, it is the social aspect, it is the environmental as well as the cultural aspects of that area that has to be taken care of if we need to take care of the sustainability issue, and if we need to grow economically, at the same time taking care of the sustainability issue into consideration. Next. Now, when did all this started? When did actually we realize that sustainability or sustainable development is vital for our humans, our people on our planet? This all started in 1987 when this definition was given that sustainable development is the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So what is important is not what we have at the moment, it is what we pass on to the next generation. We don't want the generations to come to curse us and say that our predecessors, our the people before us, our parents, our grandparents, they completely destroyed everything, they completely demolished everything, and we don't get any legacy from them. We don't want our children to be carrying a mask, carrying an oxygen cylinder all the way every time because there's no fresh air. We don't want that the trees should become a species which people go and watch in a museum. We don't want the polluted air, we don't want the polluted rivers, we don't want fights between the communities, we don't want the world to become a racist breed. So for that, what is important is that we must pass on the right things to our coming generation so that they don't regret on us, but they feel, they take a pride when they remember us. So that is why fulfilling our needs without compromising the needs of the future generation. In the forest, when a tiger or a lion, they have satisfied their hunger, they have eaten in good amount, and they are happy with their diet, and they are content with that. And when they are relaxing, when they are taking rest under a tree in the shade, even if an animal who is a normal hunt for lion or tiger, if they just walk next to them, they won't hunt him, they won't kill him. And the reason is they are right now satisfied, their hunger is satisfied, their appetite is satisfied. If they kill that animal, they won't be able to eat it right now, right then. And that animal, the meat of that animal will spoil, won't be able to eat, it will deteriorate. So they, rather than killing that animal, which is an easy bait right now, they leave that animal so that for the future time, when they actually require to hunt an animal, they don't see the shortage of it. It's a very calculative system. It's a very basic ethics they follow, even in the jungle. And here we are, the humans are actually taking more out of, you see, Mahatma Gandhi ji said, the father of nation of India, he said, nature has enough to satisfy your need, but not your greed. So we need to, and times like Corona, COVID-19 has given us an opportunity to think that where we are heading actually. So this is a very important definition that has been given by the the body which was established in 1987. And what was the name of that body? That was the body which was formed by the United Nations Secretary General of that time, Javier Perez de Stelur, in December 1983. He established this thing, and the report was submitted in December 1987, which was called Brundtland Report. Now, the chairman of this commission was Gro Harlem Brundtland. She was appointed by the United Nations to be the chairperson of this commission. She was the former Prime Minister of Norway, and a lady from a science background. So because of her knowledge, in-depth knowledge in science and nature, she was being appointed as the chairperson of this commission. And in 1983, the United Nations decided to establish the Brundtland Commission, and it was dissolved in December 1987 after releasing their report, which is called Our Common Future, or the Brundtland Report. And that was the first document which actually brought into the limelight, brought into the picture this term sustainable development. Because by that time, people realized that if we don't wake up now, if we don't take measures now towards the taking care of our planet, it'll be too late. And then we'll be reaching the point of no return, from where it'll be catastrophe all the way. There'll be no opportunity for us to do the corrections, what we are, actually mistakes or errors we are doing. And it is the time to wake up. So in 1987, this report was being released, where the sustainable development became an important feature of the United Nations activities. And this definition came from there only. Next, please. Okay, now former United Nations Secretary General from South Korea, Ban Ki-moon, he very wonderfully put this, sustainable development into his own words, that saving our planet, lifting people out of poverty, advancing economic growth, these are one and the same fight. So there are no differentiation between these three things: economic growth, societal development, and environmental care. These are not three different aspects of three different things where you have to move in three different directions, altogether differently. No, it's if you try to achieve one, and you'll find that all the other rest of the two will automatically fall in place. So it's a collective, it's a cohesive way of achieving all the three goals together. We must connect the dots between climate change, water scarcity, energy shortages, global health, food security, and women empowerment. Solutions to one problem must be solutions for all. So that's a wonderful thing. It's like if you try to solve one of the puzzle, you'll be able to find the way to rest of the puzzles. So what is sustainability? It is basically taking care of these three areas, these three major concerns, that is natural environment, healthy communities, that is healthy society, and economic vitality. So we need to grow. Yes, humans are meant to grow. Humans, even in this pandemic situation, we are at home, but we all try to see an opportunity of going out and taking the fresh air, walking in the parks, going to the market and buying something. It urges, this temptation keep coming inside us, because by nature humans are free bird. They love to move out, they love to spread their wings, they love to get connected with the society. So we need to improve our quality of life with the time. So economic growth is one. Second, as I said, the society, the health part aspect has to be taken care of. We can't have an economic growth unless we have a healthy human beings. And at the same time, we need to be very, very concerned about the nature, the other, the present things in our nature, which are very important, very vital to us, and without whom we can't survive for long. So these are the three areas which are to be focused when we talk about the sustainability aspect. Next, please. Now I have some bad news and I have some good news. both for you. Now, it is up to you to decipher. I'll be showing you some facts in my next few slides. And on your whether they are something bad or whether they are something good, but it carries both of them. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are the some important facts which I've collected for you. It takes more energy to make 1 kilogram of paper than it takes to make 1 kg of steel. Interesting. It takes about 500,000 liters of water to extract just 1 kilogram of gold. Switching from the font Arial to Century Gothic saves 30% ink on printing. You know, these are small things, but small things makes big difference, mind you. You know, it is one step at a time which takes us to our destination, to our goal. You need to take the first step. Recycling a single 330 ml aluminum drink can, you find juices and soft drink in can, it is enough if we recycle it, if it is enough to save energy to power a television for over 3 hours. Recycling a single 500 ml aluminum beer can save energy, or you can save energy to power a television for 4 hours. Transporting goods, you know, there's a lot of transportation. It's an open economy now throughout the world, and you keep sending goods from one place to another. By a rigid road truck is over 70 times more carbon intensive than bulk shipping. So you'll find if you are sending your goods, through a road truck to one place to another, it is going to contribute 70 times more in carbon generation than compared to bulk shipping, where you'll send the all the goods of a particular area in bulk altogether. So it's more affordable, it's more economical, and it is also more environmental friendly also. Next, please. It takes around 2,700 liters of water to make a single cotton t-shirt. Oof. Have you ever realized this thing? We keep wearing our cotton t-shirts, you know, very eco-friendly cloth, cotton, yeah, but it still takes 2,700 liters. So I suggest, you know, just to increase your life of your clothes a little more, use them more wisely, and it's difficult. I'm suppose, you know, we are into the fashion world, and the temptation of, you know, getting new clothes and buying and shopping things, especially the ladies, you know, they love to go for shopping and all. So that always there. But still, if we use it, you know, in a very conservative way, so we can save certain things. These are the areas where we can actually contribute. We can actually help if we just follow these few things, and if we keep these things in mind. Human caused emission of carbon dioxide need to fall 45% from 2010 levels by 2030 to reach net zero. It is around 2050 to limit climate change catastrophe. If we don't reduce the carbon generation, by the year 2050, we'll be reaching to the point of no return, where it will be catastrophe, and we have to face the harshest of the reality by that year. So we need to take care of it. That's why it's all, you know, it's in the news. United Nations, World Health Organization, the individual governments of each country is also taking, you know, these things very seriously. In India also, there is a body called NGT, National Green Tribunal. So it is mandatory for all the new, the businesses, the new industries, to get the permission from NGT before they set up any factory or any, plant in somewhere in the either it is in industrial zone or in the nature. So they need to seek the permission of NGT prior to that. If people worldwide switch to energy efficient light bulbs, the world would save 105 billion euros annually. So more energy efficient lighting will actually help us in saving a lot of money. Lighting accounts 15% of global electricity use. Switching to LEDs will use 90% less energy, which will further help us in saving our nature. Less energy generation, more into we can switch to the natural way of generation of energy, like wind energy or solar energy. I also want to give you an example here. You know, in Germany, the government is actually paying its citizens for using the electricity. Can you believe it? They're actually paying you. You don't have to pay your electricity bill. It is actually the government is paying, because they have long back, they realized this thing, that it will be acute shortage of energy, and natural energy is the need of the hour. So they actually switched to the solar energy and wind energy in such a big way. They have generated so much of electricity that they have less consumption and more generation, and again without harming the nature. So they are actually promoting the usage of electricity, and for that they're actually paying, because they don't have any place to store it. So that's a very interesting situation, which can be followed by the other countries around the globe. Plant-rich diets reduce emissions and tend to be healthier, leading to lower rates of chronic diseases. So again, if we go to vegan diet or vegetarian diet, it tends to be more healthy, and it reduces the emissions also, carbon emissions also in the nature. Next, please. Agricultural emissions could be reduced by as much as 70% by adopting a vegan diet, as I said, and 63% by adopting a vegetarian diet. So a vegan diet is where we don't take anything on which is animal based, either whether it is milk, butter, or anything, cheese, and 63% which is a vegetarian diet, which includes the vegan food also. Recycling 1 ton of paper saves 2,584 liter of oil, 26,498 liter of water, and 2.5 cubic meters of landfill space, because of the garbage which happens later on because of that 1 ton of paper which we have generated. We need that much space of to landfill the kind of wastage of that 1 ton of paper. Plastic bags and styrofoam. Styrofoam you must have seen, which are used for packaging to give the support, like you must have seen in the refrigerator or in the air conditioner, or when you purchase LED, it comes in the boxes. So the corners are supported with that white soft color material, that is styrofoam. So plastic bags and styrofoam containers can take up to thousands of years to decompose, leading to marine animal death and the contamination of soil and water. The most common findings during international coastal cleanups are cigarette butts, plastic beverage bottles, plastic bottle caps, food wrappers, plastic grocery bags. So it's all plastic where we are heading. It is estimated by the year 2030, there will be more plastic in our seas and ocean than fishes, than the weight of the fish. That's a very, very, dangerous situation we are heading towards too. So we have to take care of this. Next, please. Okay, so what all the areas in sustainability we can focus on? I have divided into 4 segments: natural, built, economic, and social. Now, natural is our flora, fauna, plants, birds, water, streams, rivers, minerals. The sustainability goal is protecting them, preserving, and restoring by adapting the capacity of bioregional systems. It is estimated that in every 5 seconds, the forest of one football stadium size, it vanishes from the Amazon forest. The amount of deforestation we are doing. We are polluting rivers. We are actually playing with our nature, which is actually harming the nature to a great extent. We need to take care of that. Coming up to the build part, I'll be a little faster because I know Santi will be messaging me very soon. So as far as the build part is concerned, the buildings we are actually making, the houses and all these things we are making, you will be surprised to know, I have few facts with me, that around 8% of worldwide carbon dioxide emission comes from cement production. Pollution by steel and cement is more than transportation in total of CO2 production. Compared to the transportation, about cars and vehicles which move around. Another very interesting thing that has happened, keeping in mind the sustainability part, is prefabricated homes. So now you don't build homes at your, at your land. The walls, the structures are built in factories, and they are transported and they are assembled your and you find it reduces pollution, because when you build home, when you construct a home, there's a lot of flying the pollutants in the air. There's a lot of construction waste material that flies in the air, which again harms the health of the people, as well as it contributes toward the pollution level. So prefabricated home is the need of the hour, and that is very, very rapidly taking place in the world. Economic aspects, we have to support the ways to people to create wealth without harming natural systems or human beings. So the former Prime Minister of India, late Madam Indira Gandhi, she said that poverty is the number one reason why we are actually not able to reach sustainable goals. If people are wealthy, if people are content, they tend to their dependency on the nature will be less. There'll be more economic development, they'll be more well off, and then in a way they can they'll be less harming the nature because of their kind of economic development that is taking place. So poverty is one of the major reason that is actually being done that way. Now, as far as the social aspect is concerned, creating opportunities and capacity for citizens to participate in the shaping of their future and creating educational, health. So it's all about basically developing the society. We need a healthy, safe, educated, and empowered society. If people are not getting enough opportunities to grow, if people are not actually well off, if people are not healthy, if people are not educated, you'll find that this will lead to a kind of a kind of a drawback or an obstacle for the country to reach the sustainable. It's very difficult to educate people regarding the sustainable part, regarding the nature, and regarding the betterment of our planet. So we need people to educated, and they need to be able to understand the importance and the consequences of it. I give you a very good example. It's not about the education when you go in school and colleges. It is a general IQ, general your awareness and capacity also that matters a lot. Give an example of Indonesia. In the world, it is whale shark. So there is a lot of organizations that is basically trying to save the species. So when the fishermen of Indonesia, they go to do the fishing, they carry a lot of food for whale shark. They don't kill whale shark, they carry food for whale shark. And how this benefit them, this is a wonderful combination of humans and nature, human and animal kingdom. So when the whale shark approaches, because they realize that yes, the ships are here, so they'll get food from them, so they try to come close to those ships. And when they come close to the ship, they attract lots and lots of thousands and lakhs of fishes with them. It moves along with whale shark, and the fishermen, they catches the fishes which they require for their for their well-being, for their food, for their business part, and they feed whale shark. So they sustain the nature part and they take care of their wealth also. So it's a beautiful, very nice combination of the nature as well as the social and economic development. Next, please. Coming back to my main topic, sustainable tourism, because I'm from the tourism background. Sustainable tourism is that tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities. So we need tourism where people travel to from one place to another without harming that place. Because actually what happens is, it is not the tourists which are supposed to pay a huge price of affecting the tourism, affecting the nature, but actually the locals, actually the residents of that area, which pay a huge money by getting the negative impact of the visitors coming to their place. Next, please. So what we actually achieved by sustainable tourism? What exactly it means? It means make optimal use of environmental resources that constitute a key element in tourism development, maintaining essential ecological processes. Second is respect the socio-cultural authenticity of host communities. That means you must, first is you have to protect the environment aspect of that particular area where you are traveling. Second is you have to respect the social and cultural authenticity of that area. It means that if you are traveling to a certain place, you have to respect the culture, religion, dressing, food habits of that particular area, and you must not hurt and harm them. And the third thing is ensure viable long-term economic operations, providing socio-economic benefits to all stakeholders that are fairly distributed. So that means the local communities of that area, the local shopkeepers, the local people of that area must get benefit out of your visit. Vocal for local, it's a new slogan in India that is happening these days. Vocal for local. So that means you have to benefit, your visit should benefit the local handicraft, the local artists, the local shopkeepers, and the local tour guides. So that's the economic contribution of yours. Next. Now, these are few tourism impacts. As you can see, international tourist arrival have increased from 25 million globally in 1950 to 278 million in 1980 to 1.8 billion expected by 2030. That's the tourism. That's the number of tourists traveling from one place to another. 10% of the total GDP, the contribution of travel and tourism industry is, which means 7 trillion US dollar. This is in 2018. 11% of the world's total employment happens from the global travel and tourism industry. That includes hotels also. At least 25 million people spread over 52 countries are displaced by violence, persecution, and or disasters. See, tourism is a very, very fragile industry, very, very sensitive industry. If a small thing happens, it can have a lot of ripple effect. So if there is, you can say, I'll not say a small thing, this coronavirus, it has led to approximately 5 million job loss in India. I'm talking about just India in tourism and hotel industry. So anything happens, if a bomb blast takes place in a country, people don't want to go there. If there is a riot in a country, people don't want to go there. If there is, a kind of a tension at the borders between two countries, people don't wish to go there. So it's an industry which immediately get impact because of anything, even positive. If something positive, if a relaxation, if let's say a visa on arrival facility is given by one country, you'll find the number of tourists actually going to increase in that country. That's a positive sign. As well as the negative aspect, if something negative happens, the tourism numbers are going to fall for sure. Next. Okay, I missed one point. You can be on this slide. I can explain that. Around 80% of the revenue which is generated by the Caribbean islands is, it is leaked out. Leakage in tourism. Leakage in tourism is when the revenue which is being generated by one place actually doesn't stop there. So 80% of the revenue moves out from the Caribbean island, which is generated from the Caribbean island itself. The human impacts is 10,000 people arrive in Mayan Riviera every day, a destination where there is still no proper recycling. Mayan Riviera is in Mexico. 10,000 people visit that beach every day. There is no proper recycling of things over there. We are actually not taking care of the sustainable part. The Western world, with 17% of the world's population, currently consume 52% of total global energy. Half of the world's population lives in urban areas, and the figure is expected to increase, which is further going to increase the problems in the cities. Now, let me give you an example of India. The deaths and people who are suffering from coronavirus is much higher in metropolitan large cities than compared to the rural areas, the underdeveloped areas of the country. So that means there is something which is wrong. We are progressing, we are creating bigger cities and bigger, more high class cities, but we are not taking care of the sustainable and the health part, the community part. Cities like New Delhi, cities like Mumbai, cities like Ahmedabad, they are the hot spots of coronavirus here in India. Whereas the suburban areas, the second tier city or the third tier cities, they don't have that number of cases. So that's one area of concern. The number of cars on the road surpassed 1 billion in 2010, and it will be 2 billion by 2035. And a European uses 14 times more energy than someone living in India. So that's a big number. Okay, so yeah, Shanti already given me a signal. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, next please. I'll briefly catch up and we'll wind it up in 5 minutes. Yeah, so wildlife and habitat impact. In every 3 seconds, a species of animal or plant become extinct from our planet. That is the rate in every 3 seconds. 70% of the marine mammals are threatened. There's so much of plastic, there's so much of pollutants in the sea and oceans that a lot of fishes are distinct, and 70% are going to be life of the sea animals are going to be, mammals are going to be threatened. 80% of the world coral reefs are at risk. By 2050, 90% of the coral reef will be out. Half of the Amazon rainforest will be gone. Since 1970, 2/3 of the nature world is affected by the human activities, and 35% of mangroves have destroyed. Next, please. The water impact. The hotel in Las Vegas, Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, uses 12 million water per year, even after recycling. And it's Las Vegas, it's a desert area of USA. It's a water scarce area. Average Canadian household use 326 liters of water per day. A village of 700 in a developing country like India, Indonesia, uses an average 500 liters of water per month, and a luxury hotel room uses 1800 liters of water per person per night. That's incredible. Well, seawater is expected to rise 70 centimeters in next 5 years, leading to cyclones, leading to, kind of like weather changes and all. Although 70% of the Earth's surface is water, only 3% of the water is usable, drinkable, potable. Next, please. This is the climate and atmospheric impact of the movement of people from one place to another. Greenhouse gas effect. If you buy local things, if you buy local fruits, vegetable products, you can contribute 4 to 5% reduction in global greenhouse global emission. And 1 acre of tree absorbs 2.6 tons of CO2 per year. 2019 was the warmest year, and it is just the beginning. For every 1 degree rise in temperature, 35 degrees Celsius, from above 34 degrees Celsius, 10% yield of rice, maize, and wheat reduces. So increase in weather is actually going to harm the output, the yield of our grains in our agriculture sector. Every year we dump 40 million tons of carbon pollution into our atmosphere. Strange humans. Next, please. Okay, this is my third last slide. So Shanti can smile now. So there are 17 goals which has been given by UNWTO, United Nations World Travel Organization, in the year 2015. These 17 goals were identified by the United Nations, and every industry can contribute in that, including tourism. And the UNWTO is a part of United Nations itself, which keeps in a tap on promoting the tourism sector or taking care of the tourism sector around the globe. So the 17 points, as you can see on your screen, I won't be able to explain each one of you, but yes, these are the points. Like poverty is also there, life on land, life on the water. There are other aspects, diversity. So these are the 17. If you search on the search engine, on Google or any search engine, and if you type Sustainable Development Goals by UNWTO, you'll be able to see these 17 areas which United Nations have identified, the areas of concern on which each sector, including tourism, has to focus, so that the planet can be a better place. We can move ahead in a more sustainable way. These are the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, given by the United Nations. Next, please. And my last point would be on sustainable development models shall guide the way in post-pandemic world after coronavirus. We need to bring changes in our business models. We need to be more organic rather than inorganic. We need to be less debt economies. It's an easy way of getting, relief from government, taking more debts from the government and managing your business. No, we need to keep, a backup plan. We need to have a sustainable plan to keep our businesses going. So the coronavirus has actually made us realize that, saving money for a good time is okay, but for saving money for a bad time is much more important, right? And that's one aspect. You have to keep the environment and ecology in mind. I can give you an example of India. The air was never so fresh where I live. I can see the new species of birds. The rivers are cleaner. I can see the mountains, the snow peaks from my home, which was not used to visible pre-coronavirus time. So the nature has actually, you can say, reboot itself, heal herself. And coronavirus, this is one positive aspect, contribution of this thing to the nature. And we need to have a societal development where people can grow. There will be less inequalities among the society. People are more equal as far as their social status is concerned. There should not be too much gap in the earnings of people. Otherwise, there'll be more problems. You'll find the countries where the earnings, the per capita income is more closer to each other, and more closer to the average, is more you can say prosperous and more you can say problem free than compared to the countries where there is a lot of disparity in the you can say annual earning of people. Okay, last slide. There is no plan B, because there is no planet B. We are going to Mars. We are going to Moon to see whether we are able to live there. If we can just take care of our planet, we'll be more happier. We are using resources as if we had two planets, not one. There can be no plan B because there is no planet B. Some people say that, there are different religions which say that people, when they die, they go to heaven. Probably this is the heaven where we are in. We never realize this thing, that what we are turning our heaven into hell. So my final submission would be that just take care of yourself, but at the same time take care of nature. This coronavirus is just a reminder where we are lacking, where we are missing, what we are doing wrong. This too shall pass. Will be stronger in the coming time, and at the same time, it has to be a cohesive existence of all the living beings on this planet, not just humans. And we are not doing any harm to the nature. We are actually doing harm to ourselves. So I put my words to rest and hand over to Santi. Sorry for taking some time, little extra time, but that's okay. We lecturers are known for it. Okay. So I'll be happy to hear any questions. If any questions are there, I'll be happy to answer them. Yeah.
Okay.